How to remove the clock on a Lincoln MKZ and Zephyr. So with the tools you'll need, you will need a door panel tool remover. I do not have one on me right now at this moment. And you will also need a 10mm. I've already started before I started making this video. You got the air vents here. What I was able to do, I'll pop it back in place and show you. But what I like to do is kind of grab both the air vents. You don't want to just grab one and tug. You'll break the blade off of it. And you just want to tug on it. Just like so. Yours may come out like the whole thing like mine did. Or your air vent, these will separate. I don't know if you can see the tab here. Right above my thumb. And you'll have one, I think here it is. And I believe one on the other side here. That will sometime pop off and this black housing will stay into it. So if that happens, what you want to do is take a flat blade screwdriver from where the tabs are at, the holes behind the bezel here. You're going to pry those tabs gently outwards, and you want to just pull the black piece out while you're prying up on the, I believe it's 3 tabs on here. My other side I've already done that, and that came out the same way as this one did, as you can tell. But what you want to do, you want to take this whole center console piece out. Basically all it is just clips. I'm sometime able to do it, sometime not. You can also take this chrome piece off. It just pops off by hand, as mine does. So I've been able to pull this off by hand. How I usually do it, I like to just start right here and just pry up, but looks like I won't be able to do it making this video, so I'll have to take a door panel tool or a flathead screwdriver. I like to pry right under here, then along the side to try prying it up so this whole thing will come out. Alright, so the tool I was talking about is just a tool just like that. You can get them anywhere. I bought mine online on eBay. I got another set too that's a different kind. Or if you don't have this, I know everybody should have a flathead screwdriver. That'll work just as well, just like not here, but you want to pry right over here and just kind of pry up over here mostly, just like so. You want to not pry down over here, you just push this in down. So you just want to pry that up. Seeing how easy it is, and I just kind of lift up on it, try to get my fingers underneath here and just pry up. Won't be able to do it so easy on this side. Kind of wiggle it, it'll take some time. And you want to be careful when you're lifting up not to damage this door here, because that's what's blocking it. I've done it with, make sure you have your emergency brake if you're going to do it this way, turned on, pull back all the way as far as it goes. But I found another way to do it without having to change the gear all the way to low gear. All you gotta do is just, yeah, I'll have to put the emergency brake on so the boot can slide over it. But the way I was able to do it, let's have that closed. I just lift straight up and pull out. Then also you lay it off to the side. So after you've done that, with this step, you will need to move the gear shift back. So like I said, make sure your parking brake all the way engaged as far back as it goes. And you want to have your key handy. I just put mine to the on position. And I just pull it back. I got my foot on the brake before I change gears. And you want to just slowly, just for safety, you want to just slowly release the brake to make sure your car's not going anywhere. My foot's off the brake. I'm still in place. So now when you've done that, these are clips clipped on. I think there's 2 top ones here. This one's broken, so it'll come out easier. So what you want to do, I pry on the bottom of them. So just kind of be gentle with it because they are plastic. And you just want to pry on the bottom of it. And it'll pop out. So I'll show you what the clips look like. You can tell that right here is broken here. That's the clip. The clip's actually metal, but the little housing unit is plastic. So after you got it off, what you want to do, you got the 2 connectors here. You have like a little tab. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You want to push that in. while lifting up the gray lever. So push that in. I can do that with my fingernail. Just push it in, lift it up. Alright, same thing with this side. Just push that little tab in while lifting up on it. Then you'll have, before you get too out of hand with it, you'll have another connector. It's for your cigarette lighter, and it's down here. So on this one, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, there's a tab on here. This side here, you just want to push that in on it and just pull out. Just like so. Let's see if I can try to get a better, well, see if I can fish it out. A little tab right here, you just want to push that tab in while pulling out. So after you've done that, you can set that off to the side. And here's where your 10mm will come in handy. You can put the car back in park and turn it off. Then you'll have 4 10mm screws. You got one here on this side, got one on the other side, and you'll have 2, one here and one here, for a total of 4 bolts. So get your, I like to have a little nice extension onto it for more room, so I'm not banging my hand into all these metal parts and whatnot. So what you want to do is go ahead and unscrew the screws. So I decided to go the lazy way instead of taking the ratchet extension to it and take forever to get those bolts out. I decided to take my drill to it. Make sure you don't lose the bolt that's on it. So you just want to make sure it's out just enough for you to unscrew it the rest of the way by hand. And the bolts are kind of fairly long, so if you're doing it by ratchet, it's kind of time consuming. So just do it the same way with the one up here and one over here. Alright, so I got the screws already out. I've already had that taken off probably 2 weeks ago or so, because I was trying to figure out, I have a rattle going on somewhere. This is why I'm taking the clock out, to see if it's the clock. Taking this speaker out here, and it's not that. Check the wires, making sure that's not hitting the air duct on it, and I zip tied it. It's not that, so it's coming from somewhere right along here. That's why I'm making this video, for people that needs to replace this clock for any reason. So once we get the screw out, just kind of pry on. I like to pry the bottom first, and just kind of pry the top, push towards you, pull, and it just comes undone. You want to also be careful. This whole thing is just a thin plastic piece on it, and be careful. Mine's a navigation, so you do not want to lay the screen onto that. You may possibly crack it, so be gentle with it. So you just want to kind of wiggle it out. I'm just going to lay it like there. Then I don't need to really take the radio out, but if you guys do, you'll have some bolts on the side here. I believe they're Torx, so Phillips head. Looks like Phillips head. And you want to just remove the bracket. Well, yeah, you could do it that way. Or you got screws. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. That one here, one down here. And I believe 2 on the other side. Just take those 2 out, and this whole bezel will come off of the radio if you want to do it that way. But over here, there's your clock here. It looks like it's in plastic. Just clips in, basically. Alright, so I went ahead. I wasn't really for sure. This is my first time, so just bear with me on it. I've taken this apart, but not the clock itself. But what you'll have is a total of 3 tabs. Mine was already unclipped on the top here, so what I did, I took my little flathead screwdriver and kind of pushed these 2 tabs down here, downwards, while trying to pull the clock out. So these 2 tabs down pull outwards towards the front of the car, and it basically just pops off. So here's the clock here. Alright, to put it back in, just basically vice versa. The way I would do it, I would just start from the bottom, put those 2 tabs on the bottom in place first, and go and try to do the top one also. Or you can try to push it in if you can. Alright, it kind of took a little time, but like I said, I started the bottom one in there first. Make sure the buttons are lined up with the holes. That was my problem when I just made that clip. So, like I said, make the buttons line up with the hole. Just give it a good firm push and it just pops in. It'll take a little bit of pressure to get it to pop in place. So after you've done that, go ahead and just put it all back in, slide the radio whole unit back in place. And don't forget to clip your wire back in. I unplugged mine because I was thinking maybe that's where the rattle's coming from or whatnot. I'm still not for sure. I'll figure out that hopefully what I just did fixed it. So like I was just saying, after you get it put back in, just don't forget to plug it in. I'm not going to worry about mine. I don't ever really pay attention to it. So I'll just go and slide the radio whole unit in. Make sure it's lined up with all the clips. And go and give it a good firm push all the way around. I will go ahead and put my cover on before I get this clipped in all the way. And once when you get it all clipped in place, go ahead and put in the full bolts and tighten them up. So after you got all the screws in, go ahead and just put your thing in place. It don't fit in, so just want to just keep turning it until it fits in there nice. And it pops in place. Same thing with the other vent. Just kind of turn it until it slides into place. Just like so. Yeah, it's a little loose, but it's fine with me. So after you've done that, go ahead and put in your climate control. You'll have to move the gear shift down again. And just put it back in place. Don't forget to put in all the wiring harness. You got the one here. You got the one for the cigarette lighter. So after you got that all put back in place, now it's just time for your last thing to get this piece back in. So I'm just going to do it the lazy way again. Don't feel like moving the gear. So I just kind of slide it in place. Just like so. Make sure you get your emergency brake where the boot's at. Just kind of wiggle into place. Make sure you're all lined up. Make sure you get a good firm push into it so it's all nice and clipped in. Then last thing is just your chrome bezel. Get that back on and you're ready to go. And that's how you replace the clock on Lincoln MKZ and Zephyr. Thanks for watching.